So we'll do chanting. We'll chant Om 3 times and Om Shanti, 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 Om peace, peace, peace. Then we'll do some breath work. And then we'll kind of do a body scan. And I'll kind of reinforce the message of this sweet opening up in the body scan and the tour of the senses. And then we'll get into the noting. And remember, in the noting, first is listening and hearing, just opening up to that. Second is opening up and noting any pleasant state, especially anything that has to do with openness, boundlessness, emptiness, bliss, happiness, expansiveness, etc. And then the third instruction is noting acceptance, allowing, release, and surrender for any kind of negative experience. Okay, great. So let's inhale the hands to heart center. Om. Inhale deeply. Inhale deeply. Inhale deeply. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Inhale deeply. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Okay, good. Now take the right hand like so, curl these 2 fingers, making the following mudra. Now take the right thumb and block off the right nostril and inhale through the left. Pinch and retain. Release the right nostril. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right nostril. Pinch and retain. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Pinch and retain. Exhale through the right. And release. All right, inhale the arms up. Retain the breath, bring the arms out to the side. Exhale. The arms are coming towards each other, the hands are coming towards each other. You're extending the exhale, bringing about relaxation, moving the hands slowly. All right, inhale again. Inhale the arms up. Retain the breath. Bring the arms out to the side. Exhale. The hands are coming towards each other and they're going to meet in front of the sternum. You're slowing down the hand movements like you're moving through syrup, which brings about mindfulness and concentration. Okay, good. And then inhale one more time. Hands come up. Exhale. Hands are coming together. meeting in front of the sternum. Good. All right. Now inhale the arms up. Now pivot over to your right side. Bring the arms down. Look over your right shoulder and retain the breath. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale the arms up again. Pivot over to your left side, Look over your left shoulder, retain the breath. Exhale, coming back to center. Okay, inhale the arms up again. Interlace the fingers and down to the head, and now go over to your right side and get a deep stretch in your left side, retaining the breath. Exhale, coming back to center, releasing the arms down, and inhale deeply again, arms come up. Interlace the fingers, they come down to the head, over to your left side, getting a deep stretch in the right side body, retaining the breath. Exhale, coming back to center, releasing. Okay, good. Okay, great. Now we're going to do a tour of the senses. We're going to go through see, hear, and feel, so visual, auditory, somatic. And then we're already going to go ahead and apply the technique, this quality of attentiveness, openness, receptivity, and allowing. Okay, we're sitting up straight. Push the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Pick up the shoulders, roll them back just a bit. The chest comes up and out. The slight forward tilt in the hips, opening up the diaphragm for deeper breathing. Good. Now open up the eyes. And get in touch with this quality of complete allowing. Complete receptivity. And now don't concretize your visual experience into concept. Just let everything be open and unfixated. And let's do an exercise to tell the difference. So look at something very particular and know it conceptually. I'm looking at the D letter on the keyboard, and I'm knowing it conceptually. And now I'm going to release it completely, defocusing the eyes, and interfacing with visual experience in an open, non-conceptual way, in a more of a phenomenological way. Just opening and noticing. And now also notice the absence of the desire that things be different. Notice this profound acceptance of your visual experience. Now close the eyes and bring attention to image thought, your internal visual experience. Opening up entirely. Noticing how everything that arises out of awareness, is made of awareness, and recedes back into awareness. In a sense, it always sums out to be zero. So it's almost like nothing happens. And there's a deep stillness in seeing how everything is just awareness. Just seeing, just appreciating, just allowing. And now let's go ahead and fabricate a thought. Fabricate the image thought of an elephant. And then let it collapse. One could say that it arises out of awareness, is made of awareness, and recedes back into awareness. Also, one could say that there's just nothing. That nothing happens. That even when the image thought is arising and passing, there's nothing but stillness. Okay, good. Now bring your attention to external hearing, the auditory field. And firstly, notice how everything's happening on its own. And as a quick inquiry, the sounds you hear, did you ask for them? Did you request them? Did you tell them to appear? I suspect not. They just arise and pass on their own accord. They arise out of awareness, are made of awareness, and recede back into awareness. And seeing this seems like seeing nothing. Seeing stillness, seeing absence, seeing the pregnant void. And now listening, just hearing and listening to the internal talk. And paying attention with a sweetness. We're not trying to get rid of internal talk. Besides, it's all made of awareness, comes out of awareness and recedes back into awareness. There's so much space. There's a smiling welcoming to all of it. And then just to play around, go ahead and say the word to yourself, elephant. Noticing how it arises and passes. And how now, paradoxically, it can't even be found. Say the word again, elephant. And now have the thought, I said the word elephant to myself. And see how even that passes. And then now let's look, that sentence about, I said the word elephant, and having said it, are they even associated? Does one know the other? Do they co-arise? Does one point at the other? In my experience, it doesn't. There's nothing that points to one thing or the other. Everything is just peace. And now take a deep breath and feel the whole body all at once. And exhale, letting the whole body exhale all at once. Okay, good. Now bring your attention to your feet. And again, notice how it all arises unbidden, unasked for. It's all happening on its own. We can just let go. And we can rest into that. And now feeling the lower legs. Now feeling the upper legs, the thighs. It's all just happening on its own. And now feeling the hips. Now feeling the stomach. Feeling the chest. And notice how it's all taking care of itself. You're not doing anything. And it's so convincing how it's all taking care of itself that you cannot help but rest. It's also restful. And now feeling the shoulders. Often there's tension or stress held in the shoulders. See if you can find some. And completely allow it to be there. See if you can let go of the desire to make it go away. And if you can't let go of the desire to make it go away, completely surrender to the fact that you can't let that go. You're now feeling the upper arms. Feeling the forearms. Feeling the hands. And it's all taking care of itself. And that invites you to rest. Resting in this open, receptive awareness. There's so much space for everything. And now feeling the back and the front of the neck. Completely opening up to that experience. And now the front, or rather the face, and the head. And like notice everything that's happening and how it's all doing itself. So restful. It's happening within this open container of receptive awareness. Now take a deep breath and feel the whole body all at once. And exhale, feeling the whole body all at once. And now notice any feeling states. So if it's a positive, emotional feeling state. If it's a positive emotion, then note it as it is: joy, happiness, bliss. If it's a negative one, like depression, self-doubt, hatred, then just note surrender, allowing, accepting, or release. Okay, good. Now for the next 15 minutes, we're going to just do our kind of open, unstructured essence noting practice. And again, to reiterate, the 3 instructions are: listen. Listen for the sound that is too subtle to be heard. Listen to see if you can hear the pine needles in Siberia wrestling up against one another. This brings about an openness, a boundlessness. So that's what you go back to when in doubt. Also notice any pleasant states, especially anything having to do with openness, receptivity, ease, bliss, awareness. And then if anything difficult or negative arises, simply note acceptance, surrender, allowing, or release. Also, if there's confusion about how to do the practice, perfect. You just note surrender or allowing. And if you're struggling or distracted, you just note acceptance, allowing, surrender, or release. Just allowing, listening, openness. You're attentive and interested in your experience. Especially if thoughts come up, you just allow them to arise and disappear on their own, not fighting with them. Going back to listening, listening for the sound that can't quite be heard, but still trying in a sweet way. Noticing all the pleasant qualities, the openness, the bliss, the ease. And then noting acceptance, surrender, allowing, or release for any negative experiences. See if you can see how the meditation itself is happening inside of open, receptive awareness. Notice how that state of open, receptive awareness is completely boundless and all-encompassing. Everything you experience is that. Your whole experience is made of awareness, happening inside of awareness. Just complete openness, attentiveness. Okay, good. We'll start wrapping up the meditation. Go ahead and relax the body just a bit more. Drop any and all technique. And now just look at the mind itself. See if you can find the limits of the mind. Noticing how when you try to do that, it all expands out infinitely. Just stay in this open, expanded, investigative state for just another minute. Good. So may this practice work through us in such a way that others benefit as well. All right. So I can start with my report. That's pretty cool. I totally enjoyed that. Yeah. There's just something so kind of, I don't know, smart about just letting it all be. Okay. Any reports or questions? How did that go for y'all?
At first, I could follow your instructions very well. And I noticed that I always need somebody or myself to give allowance to do things and to be receptive or to notice whatever is there. And after some time, I realized that I was drifting somewhere else and making up stories inside, making images inside. And like sometimes I had the, oh, I'm in a dream or something like that. And then after some time, I was planning the day somehow. So I went back and forth. And then I went back to the techniques, tried to stick to that. And after some time, I could realize, got aware of a lot of tension in my body.
Okay.
Pain coming up because everything is in silence now. And so now I'm getting aware of what happened today, that I have built up a lot of tension in my neck and in my back.
Yeah.
And so this is coming up very strong now.
Yep.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. Good report. And, you know, just so you know, everything you mentioned is common, right? I had mind wandering as well. And then also, when we really quiet the mind, quiet what distracts us, then, you know, we notice how unquiet the mind is, and also pain, et cetera, in the body. So all that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then now that I'm thinking about it, it might be better to do this practice where, or to fit this practice in, like, let's just say you do 30 minutes of meditation in the morning, maybe do 15 minutes of metta, then 15 minutes of this practice, because this is a more formless practice. Mm-hmm. And it helps to have built up a little bit of concentration and wellness, and then do this, because otherwise there might be too much going on to where we can't do the practice well. Mm-hmm. But, you know, this is where we own the practice. We do it in a way that works for us personally.
It was very nice to get in this calm state for a long time and relax everything and just have the allowance to do nothing but concentrate. That's so nice.
Yeah, totally. Good.
Thank you.
Sure, thank you. Any other comments?
I can maybe say something. So you suggested to listen to the sound of the sun, mm-hmm. and I found it quite cool. So I chose to do that. So this part of listening to something that is not here, I liked it a lot. I became quite warm actually, because I was kind of facing the sun in the end. With some visualization and everything. That was very better. My mind was like very, very quiet and silent, so I didn't do the noting.
That's fine.
I tried to do it at the beginning, but I found it disturbing actually.
Yep.
So I stayed just with the visualization, and maybe the noting is also a little bit a problem. I should maybe do it in French. So.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know, to label stuff, force me to think about it and to analyze, where I really didn't want to analyze anything at all, basically. I was just in the experience, and that was very fine like that. So, and overall, yeah, I have a feeling of warm, and that was very, very pleasant moment.
Okay, great report, yeah. Julian.
That's it.
Okay, and this is helpful. So with noting, so in a sense, noting is just noticing, right? So there are three options with labeling. There's out loud, seeing, hearing, listening. There's quiet, just doing it in your mind. And then the third option that is always there is not doing it at all. Because the point of it is not to do the labels. The point of it is to meditate and stay in open awareness, stay mindful. And especially when we're kind of busy and there's a lot going on, there's activation in the verbal processing parts of the mind. So we just shove a bunch of labels of like see, hear, listening, openness into that place, and then we get calm. Eventually, if let's say you do a meditation retreat, by the end of the retreat, there'll be very few labels, very, very, very few, because they're way too coarse. Just like you're saying, they're too coarse, and they bring up thinking when you really need to just let the mind decompress and settle further. So honestly, the way that you report doing it, you did it just right. Very good. Okay. Any other questions coming up or reports? And hey, good to see you, Philippe. Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Cedric. It was really relaxing. It was a very good pace of teaching, and I enjoy sitting with the group and listening to your instructions. Yeah. So
cool.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I usually have a policy against allowing francophones on the call, but today I kind of slipped. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm a real delinquent. If you tell me I can't come, I come anyway.
I know. I just keep coming back for more views. What can I say? All right. Any other comments or reports?
Thank you so much for your time. It was a wonderful way to start the day. Thank you. Namaste.
Great. Yeah, thank you, Chris. Okay, well, I think we're at time. So why don't we wrap it up? So let me reiterate homework. Keep meditating 30 minutes a day. And you can, I would recommend doing metta or one of the other practices, Tonglen, Mudita, or even maybe the see, hear, feel noting for the first half of your set. And then the second half, do the essence noting. Then also, try to do the essence noting during the day, micro hits of the essence noting. But also do remember the whole me too, right? So when you see something difficult in someone else, say, oh yeah, me too. I have this in me. And so there you go. Those are the practice recommendations. Oh, and then also, as I generally recommend, do the 6 acts of generosity a day, which can be as simple as just reflecting on generosity when you water your plant. Okay, that's all I got. Thank you. All right, see everybody in a week. Okay, bye-bye.